Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest updates. Well, Typhoon In-fa here is quickly approaching landfall in Miyakojima, Japan. It is a Category 1 typhoon at this time at 24 degrees north, 125 degrees east, and it is a very, very large storm, struggling to keep that very large eye wall together, which is why it is a Category 1 at this time. Currently, it has winds of 90 miles per hour or 145 kilometers per hour with a pressure of 958 millibars. It's currently virtually stationary, but is beginning to move northward, and it is a Stage 7 on the Cyclone Destruction Potential scale. Breaking that down a bit, wind speed potential here, significant to major, rainfall potential is major, storm size is major, and the overall threat to land lands in a major setting. This is for Miyakojima, Japan, and again, that is a Stage 7 on the CDPS scale, so catastrophic damage is likely, despite it being a Category 1. Well, here we go. You can see again here, this is as of 12 p.m. CST is July 23rd. Again, there's a Stage 7 there, and you can see that very large wind field, 185 to 200 nautical miles in all quadrants, and it's actually going to get a bit larger over the next little while. So Miyakojima, this thing's 13 miles away from there. From Naha, this is 168 miles away. From Taipei, Taiwan, 203 miles away. From Ningbo, this is 370 miles away. And from Shanghai, China, this ends up being 441 miles away. You can see here the warnings that are also currently in place. You saw those typhoon warning and gale advisories for Japan. Here's the yellow typhoon warning and blue typhoon warnings in place for China. So you can see those alerts there as shown. Well, here we go again. Maximum sustained winds from us at 90 miles per hour. The JMA, AMSU, and RAM all agree with that, with the ADT and Joint Typhoon Warning Center slightly lower at 85 miles per hour, and the Satellite Analysis Branch of NOAA going all the way down to 80 miles an hour with their Dvorak estimates. Well, here's our latest cone of uncertainty. This is courtesy of Walter Ewan. You can see here that we are expecting this to move northward and re-strengthen a bit up to 105 miles per hour as a Category 2 system before it begins to weaken gradually and move northward, making a landfall near Shanghai with winds around 75 miles per hour. This is going to be a very large storm, and again, it'll be a Stage 7 on the CDPS scale wherever it makes that landfall in China as well. So Stage 7 right now for those Ryukyu Islands, and a Stage 7 for that Chinese landfall as well. Well, here's sea surface temperatures. You can see here why it's going to be so large and still be able to sustain itself. It has a very, very, very nice bit of sea surface temperatures there, over 28 degrees Celsius. That's more than enough to sustain a tropical cyclone, especially one of this caliber. Very large, but not overly strong. Well, here you go. You can see the H-Wharf continuing to show a very large tropical cyclone heading into China, very large tropical storm force wind field and hurricane force wind field. And then as you can see, this thing moves north, and the rainfall is going to be quite the threat as well, with more mountainous regions receiving over 32 inches of rain. Here's intensity guidance. Intensity is expected to go up just a little bit before it really begins to fall off as it does make that landfall in China. Wind shear will also be increasing here after the next day or so this really only has one more day to intensify before wind shear goes up, and sea surface temperatures are going to gradually fall off as well, getting rather unfavorable by the time you're at the 26th or 27th, with mid-level relative humidity also slowly falling with time. With your satellite imagery, you can see the sun rising over In-fa, and it's a very large storm, as I've been saying, but it also looks quite beautiful. It is, again, nearing landfall there near Miyakojima, Japan, and you can see here the infrared imagery as well, showing a well-defined eye, but you can see there on that western side, that eye wall is struggling to get its act together, and we can also see that on the water vapor. That western side struggling to get its act together, but if it does, the storm has room to intensify a fair bit. And here's the final bit of imagery. You can see there clearly just how the storm has evolved. Again, that western side being the biggest weak point, but a relatively robust eye wall everywhere else.